Hello guys and welcome to Laravel 7 tutorials. So guys, in the previous videos we successfully implemented a master layout for backend using Bootstrap SBadmin 2, and then we successfully created our sample pages, for example categories and dashboard. And for the remaining pages guys, we are going to use these sample pages, let's say categories or dashboard pages, to create all the necessary pages, go with the flow. And let's say if we have a different HTML markup for any specific page, we are also going to create that go with the flow. Okay, so after that we successfully implemented the master layout for our front end, and we already implemented all of the front end pages, for example blog, about, contact us, and that was using clean block. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to mark those as completed. Okay, so there is no confusion, completed. That's it. Okay, so guys, in this video we are going to change the redirection of our web application, and we are going to implement the Ajax CSSRF token so that we don't have to define it again and again with each and every request. And after that we are going to set up a base URL, and when we reach the base URL I'm going to define that in great detail. Okay, so let's start. And for that I will move to XAMPP is already up and running right here. Let's access my project, and I have already accessed my project directory and folder right here. So what I'm going to do, PHP artisan serve, nice and simple. Let's move to Google and let's access our project. Okay, so as you can see, this is the root directory of a project, and right here I don't want to see this welcome blade. Instead I want to see this, let's say blog, this one. Okay, so let's change the redirection to our blog page or home page in this case. So for that I will move to Sublime. Let's access web.php. okay, so to do that we have two simple ways. First is right here, just change the view and just replace this welcome blade or view with this one, and it is done. But in my case I'm just going to comment it out like that, and I'm going to rename this route. That's it. Okay, let's refresh on our root directory, and now we have our front end page for our blogging system on the root directory. And right now we will be unable to click this link. Why? Because we just changed the route. Let me just show you. See, this route does not exist. Okay, so let's fix this first, and for that I will move to resources, views, front end, layout, and top nav. Now you can see the use of separating the code. Let's say for example back end, front end. Now let's say if I want to work on a top nav of my application, that is, let's say if I want to work on a front end top nav, what I can do is simply move to top nav, layout, front end, layout, and top nav. That's it. Okay, so let's change this first. That's it, it is done. Let's refresh here. Now when I click this blog, we are redirected to home page. Okay, so this is the first part. Now I want to let's say we want to have the links login, register, and logout. So let's implement that. Okay, so for that I will move to once again top nav, and I am going to copy this li, copy and paste it 3 times. That's it. Okay, yeah. Okay, let's change these to first one to login, second one to register, and third one to logout. Okay, and let's rename this to login, to register, and to logout. Okay, so guys, if you don't know about these URLs, these are already implemented with the help of auth. So let's say if you don't know about these route, what you can do is you can move to right here git bash and just type the command, stop your project and write the command php artisan route list, and you can see these route with the help of auth. Okay, so let me just show you the logout functionality first, and for that I will just move to login. Okay, and see the redirection as well right here. Login, and right here you can see we are redirected to home, and in my case I want to redirect a specific user to dashboard. Okay, and right here we have our logout functionality. Let me just click it, and you can see we are redirected to home. So we are just going to get the logout functionality of that button. So for that, let's first move to, because it is inside the layouts app right here, because it was implemented with the help of auth, so we can find that in the auth related layouts. So I will move it down right here, and right here we have our logout functionality. Let me just copy this first, and then I will explain it to you. Just copy this from right here, href, to right here, and let's replace this href with that one. Let's align our code. Okay, and let's copy the form because we need it right here, hidden form. Copy and paste it right here just below this anchor tag. Sorry, I missed that. Control C and Control V, that's it. Let's align this. Okay, so now let's discuss what is going on right here. Okay, so whenever we are going to click this link, what it is going to do, it is going to run an event with the help of JavaScript. You can see right here on click, it's a function guys, not an event, it's a function. Okay, on click, do the event prevent default. If you don't know about prevent default, let me just tell you a bit about this. Okay, let's say if you are doing anything or clicking an anchor tag or a button, what JavaScript does is it is going to scroll it like this, a bit like this. Okay, so to prevent that behavior, we are using this prevent default. So whenever we are going to click an anchor or button, it does not move like this. Okay, it will stay on its original position. Okay, after that we are getting, with the help of this document.getElementById, we are getting this element with the help of ID right here, logout form, which is right here, and we are submitting that submitting this right here ID to our logout route. That's it, nice and simple. Okay, so whenever we are going to click it, we are going to get the ID of this form, and we are submitting this form on this action route logout. Okay, so nice and simple, and we are not going to see this form in top bar. Let me just show you, because it is hidden right here. You can see style display none. Okay, so now if I, let's say if I just log in, let me just log in first so that I can show you all about Laravel. 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 login, and now we are logging. Let's move to our main front end home page, and whenever I'm going to click logout, we are redirected to home, and in this case, see, we are logged out because it is asking for a login. Okay, so this functionality is done, and we also need to apply this functionality right here on this page, because whenever we are going to click this logout, it is going to open a modal right here, logout, and we click, we are redirected to login.html, and in this case we don't have this blade or HTML markup. Okay, so let's implement this right here as well, and this is inside the backend. So what I'm going to do is, let's close this top nav for now, and let's move to backend, layout, and top nav, and let's find a logout button right here. Okay, so let's replace this as well. Oh, not right here, because right here you can see it is going to open a modal. Let me just show you once again. If we click this logout, it is going to open a modal. So we have to implement the logout on this modal button. Okay, not right here on this link. Okay, keep that in mind. Okay, let's move to, for that we have to move to master, because I remember I have this specific modal in my master blade right here. See logout and right here. Okay, so if you want to change the text for now, you can do that from right here, but in my case I'm just going to implement the logout functionality. Let's access the app blade once again, and let's open the master blade once again side by side. Okay, let's copy the logout functionality from right here. Once again, same procedure. You can see we are saving some time. Okay, let's replace and let's align this. Okay, and we also need our form so that we can submit on this button click. So just below this, Control F12, that's it. And in this case we are not logged in. Let's say what happens. Sorry, I just closed it, my bad. Sorry guys. Okay, let me just show you first login, and let's move to 41234. In this case now we are logged in. Now let's move to dashboard just to check this functionality. If I click this logout, right here you can see we are redirected to home page. This means that we successfully implemented our logout functionality on both the front end and the back end. Okay, so now what I'm going to do, I'm going to change the redirection after user is logged in. Let's say in this case we already saw that, but I don't want to mess anything up, so I will just show you once again. If we log in, we are redirected to home page. So let's change this redirection, and for that I will just close this master and app, and let's close this. Keep our environment nice and simple. Let's move to app, http controller auth login controller, and right here you can see protected redirect to, and in here route service provider we have this constant defined. Let me just show you first. Right here, see, if we click this is the constant we that is defined by Laravel right here /home. So whenever we are going to log in, Laravel is going to redirect us to this one, which is equals to this home route. Okay, so let's say if you want to change this, you can change it right here as well, but this is not a good practice, because this is by default and this is done by someone else, let's say Laravel team. So we are not going to mess anything up right here, and for that I will just move to login controller, and I'm just going to copy this. If you want to, you can change it right here as well, but this is not a good practice. Okay, some people minded doing right here and some people minded doing right here, but this is not a good practice. Just keep that in mind. You can do that from right there as well. So I just copied it. I will just comment it, next line, and I will just paste it once again, and I will change it to, let's say, my custom route, and in this case it would be /dashboard. Okay, now let's log out and let's check our login functionality once again. Login and all about Laravel, login, and now you can see we are redirected to our dashboard page. Okay, now we need to do the same for the register blade. Why? Let me just show you with an example. Let's say if we create a user testing 123, and let's say testing 1234 at gmail.com, 1234 guys, this is just for a testing purpose, that, and it the password is just for the learning purpose so that I don't forget it, but we are not going to keep a password like this. Okay, just keep that in mind, just a reminder. Okay, register account. Now you can see we have registered successfully, and once again we are redirected to home. So let's log out and let's change the route after the register. I will just close it once again from right here. Let's move to register controller, scroll down, and in this case I will just comment it, move to next line, paste it, and once again this redirected route is coming from this route service provider. So if you change it right here, you don't need to define it again and again, but this is not a good practice in my point of view. Okay, so I will just define it right here once again. Let's say /dashboard. Okay, we have this route, just remember that. Let me just show you. Web, let's scroll down in the backend section right here. Okay, save it, and now let's create another user. Okay, let's say test@gmail.com 1234 1234 1234 1234. That's it. Let's register, and now you can see we are redirected to blogging dashboard, and this is just a reminder that you should change your password. Okay guys, so we have successfully changed the redirection. Now the next task is, let's log out, and you can see our logout functionality is working perfectly fine. Okay, now guys, we have to implement some logic so that if a user is logged in, let me show you with an example all about it. 1234 1234 login. I just logged in. I will move to root directory, and now you can see it is showing again and again this login and register links, which is not a good practice because I already logged in and I already have an account, so I should not see these links. Instead, I should only see this one. So we are going to implement a logic right here so that if a user is logged in, don't show these links, and if a user is logged in, just show this link. Okay, so let's do that, and for that I will once again close this right here. Okay, let's move to resources, front end, and master, no, top nav right here, and we are going to implement our logic right here, just below this one. Yeah, so let's put a condition. First I'm going to put a condition, and then I'm going to describe that in detail. At if not auth check, okay, do this @else, and just below this one right here, and if. That's it. Let me just show you the result. F5. Remember guys, I already logged in, so now I am not able to see the login and register. Why? Guys, just don't be confused, because we have this function auth check by default with the help of auth functionality. Okay, so what it is going to do, it is just going to check in our application if any specific user is logged in or not, and it is going to return true or false, or 1 or 0. So in this case, what I'm saying to Laravel is check if any user is logged in. Okay, so in case right here you can see the not, so what I'm checking right here, let me just replace it. Yeah, so this is a reverse or inverse condition in which I am defining if no user is logged in. Right here you can see the factorial sign. If no user is logged in, show him these links, and if there is any user, you can imagine what else is going to do. So it is for the reverse condition. Just let me show you with an example as well. Let's say if there is any user, let me show you with the correct condition, with the simple one from the front end. Okay, auth check. Okay, this is going to return if a user is logged in, it is going to return 1, and if not, it is going to return 0. So my condition right here is if no user is logged in, it is going to return true or false. So do this code, okay. Otherwise in the else, do this one, whatever we have right here, okay. So now I think it makes more sense. Sorry guys. Okay, so we are just checking right here, if any user is logged in, show him this, and else show this. It is the reverse condition. So in this case we are implementing the not. If no user is logged in, show him this login and register link, and if there is any user, just show him the logout page, okay. So I think I made my point clear right. Okay, let's see this once again. Let's refresh, and what I'm going to do, press the logout, and now we are logged out. So now you can see the login and register, because the condition right here returns true. If no user is logged in, this is in this condition, this is true. So we are going to see these links, okay. Nice and simple. Let's move to login, sorry, because I want to show you one more thing. 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4. Okay, now you can see I have successfully logged in. Let's move to root once again. Let's say if I hit this login link or login route, in this case we don't see a link right here, but let's say if a user is logged in, what if he again try to hit the login route? See, we are redirected to home blade. Once again, let me just show you. As you can see, I have already logged in and we can only see the logout. So let's say if I hit a register, what will happen? Register. See, we are again redirected to home. So in this condition, auth has a specific function or controller, that is redirect if authenticated. Because I am already authenticated, so it is just redirecting me back to home. So we need to change this redirection as well. Let's move there. I will just close this, and let's move to app, http, controller, no middleware, redirect if authenticated right here. See, and we need to change this. Once again, you can see we are redirected from right here to our home blade. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to copy this, and paste it right here and comment this one. That's it. Let's change this to dashboard. Okay, let's refresh, and let's say if I hit a login, now you can see we are redirected to, because we are already logged in, so the condition is redirect if authenticated. Let me just show you. Let's move to root, and let's say you can see I am already logged in because I can see the logout link only. Okay, let's say login. Okay, I am once again redirected to dashboard. Let's try register route, and once again we are redirected to dashboard. So that's it. From the redirection, we are successfully moving to our application pages instead of Laravel auth pages. Okay, so guys, next task is to implement the Ajax CSSRF token. Let's do that for our backend for right now, because we are going to start from the backend. Okay, start building our web application from the backend. Okay, let's move to resource, views, and backend, master layout and master blade. Okay, so I'm just going to implement a CSSRF token in the header. Let me just show you. Just follow me. Okay, for now, meta name is equals to, not this one, CSSRF underscore token. Okay, and content would be equals to, let's print our token CSSRF underscore token. Okay, let me just show you what we have. if you saw my basic lecture for Laravel, what this CSRF is going to do, you already know it, but in case if you don't know about this, basically CSRF is for protection of our form submission. Whenever we are going to submit any sort of form, we need CSRF token in Laravel, otherwise you are not going to be able to pass your get or post request. Okay, so we need that, and in order to implement it right here is the reason behind this is so that we don't have to pass our CSRF token again and again with our AJAX request. Okay, we are going to get it from right here. Okay, let me just show you the output. Let's move to dashboard and inspect and header. Let's move to head, and right here you can see we have a token. Okay, nice and simple. Okay, let's close this. Yeah, okay, so everything is fine. Let's move to JavaScript section. Just above this yield, I am going to define a scripts. Okay, and now we are setting up our CSRF token in AJAX header. AJAX setup, sorry, not header. $.AJAX setup, and right here. Okay, so if you don't know about AJAX, you must know it, because this course is not about AJAX. What you have to do is just get the basic knowledge of AJAX, that how it works. It's really simple, like a get request, a post request, and that's it, because with the help of AJAX we don't need to refresh our page for any type of submission. Okay, so it is very useful. Header, and now I'm going to define a token, and what it is going to be is header, and let's say x minus CSRF minus token, and I'm going to define it with $meta name equals to, where name is, let me just confirm the name right here, CSRF underscore token, CSRF underscore token, and that's it. And I want to get the meta, where, sorry for my bad English guys, let me just implement it first, sorry. Okay, and I want the attribute content, that's it. Okay, so right here guys, what I'm doing right here is, let's say we are setting the AJAX setup, and in the header we are saving the XCSRF token. How are we going to get it? With the help of jQuery. I'm defining right here that I have a field with meta with name CSRF token. Let's move down right here. So I'm putting this XCSRF token value as I have it in the $meta name, where meta name is CSRF token, and I want its attribute value, and the attribute name is content. That's it. In short, I am getting this value with the help of jQuery. Okay, nice and simple. You can also do that with the help of ID, but let's keep it that way for now. Okay, for simplicity, we are simply getting the value of this attribute content, which relates to meta, where name is CSRF token. Okay guys, so that's done. Let's refresh if we don't, just to be sure that we don't have any sort of error. Yeah, it is working perfectly fine. Okay, because we can't see any error. Okay, now let's implement the base URL, and I'm going to define the use of base URL just after that. Let's define a variable base URL, and I want this base URL to be, let's say like this. If you don't know about this factorial, about this procedure right here, curly braces factorial. What it is going to do, it is used for escaping the string. Let's say if you have an HTML markup and if you want to escape it, you are going to use this double factorial. Okay, let's implement our base URL. JSON encode and URL, and URL is this one. Okay, I'm just getting the base URL. Okay, so we are going to see this in the footer section just after the scripts. Let's refresh so that we can see we don't have any sort of error. Let's move to element at the bottom, and right here, let me see this one, this script. Okay, see, we are passing our header section right here, and you can see our base URL right here. I know you will be a bit disappointed, like what is this, these slash, back, front, etc. Let me just show you with the help of alert base URL. Okay, let's refresh, and now you can see this URL right here. Okay, so base URL is equal to a root URL. Okay, this one. Okay, so why do we need this? Let's say in our project we are going to use Ajax for every request. Okay, so with the help of Ajax we need our application root URL. In this case it is 127.0.0.1. Now let me explain you about the base URL first. Okay, let's say we are in the for right now we are in the production or development environment, and here we have a root as or base URL as 127.0.0.18000. okay, and let's say if I have any sort of route, let me just show you right here, about. Okay, let's take this about as an example. Okay, so in the production environment what I have is like this, copy and paste. Let's say if I want to access my about page, what we are hitting is actually this localhost/about. okay, now let's say we move to live environment. Okay, live environment. In live environment, instead of this localhost, what you are going to have is a domain/about. So if you push your project to a live environment, your Laravel application is not going to do anything with this about route. Why? Because it doesn't know about this domain. Okay, it doesn't know anything, so you have to define it. Okay, so in this case what you can do is every time let's say if you move from production to live environment, what you have to do is you have to define a base URL and change it on your own. And in this case I am not defining my base URL, I am leaving it on the application. Let's say if we move to, in this case if we move to live environment, I am leaving the application to get the base URL, whatever it is going to work perfectly fine. How? Because I am leaving it on the application. Get the base URL, whatever it is. Let's say it is all about Laravel. Our Laravel application is going to get it, and after that we are going to have a slash. In this case a root will be all about Laravel /about. Okay, so keeping this simple, I already defined you that we need the other way around is defining the each root directory on your own is the first thing you can do, but the second way is just let Laravel do that for you for simplicity, so that you don't have to worry about anything. Okay, so in case if we move to live environment, Laravel on its own is going to get the base URL with the help of JavaScript right here, jQuery. With the help of JSON encode we are getting a root URL and saving it in the base URL. So with the help of every AJAX request, we can simply pass our sorry guys. So with the help of this base URL, we are simply going to use this base URL as a reference, whatever it is. If it is 127 or if it is a real life domain, we are going to get it and apply our further request. Okay, so you will know about this in great detail when we are implementing our get and post request, because we are going to use this base URL, whatever it is, get the URL and implement my functionality with the help of get and post request. Okay guys, so that's it from this video, and in the next video we are going to implement our first functionality, which was, let's say, category. We are going to implement a modal. Let's say if I click this add category, we are going to have a modal and we are going to start implementing our functionality. So this was it from this video, changing the redirection, implementing the AJAX header for CSRF token and implementing the base URL, so we don't need to worry about the live and local based root directory. Okay, so in the next video we are going to start implementing our functionality. So if I miss anything, we are going to do that in the later videos. So guys, I hope you guys liked the video. If you liked it, please like, subscribe and share. Thank you, take care, and yes, be ready. Okay, take care.